Oh, hi there. Welcome to the Freedom Alternative. First of all, allow me to introduce you to the concept of smiorc. Smiorc is the Romanian version of wah, and it means exactly the same thing, namely the situation when an ignorant, spoiled child cries because they didn't get what they wanted. In other words, petty whining. And here we have the latest example of professional smiorc. Daily Caller titles Female Professor Wants Bonus Points on Course Evaluations for Female Professors. And it goes like this. A female professor at Cornell University is calling for a plan which would build in extra advantages for female professors on course evaluations which assess classroom effectiveness. The Ivy League professor, Sarah Pitchard, believes handing out gratuitous unearned bonus points is necessary to combat widespread institutionalized gender bias, reports Campus Reform. I've read some of the research on gender bias in course evaluations, heard shocking stories from female colleagues, and unfortunately seen the issue in my own evaluations. Pitchard, a professor in Cornell's Science and Technology Studies department, wrote this week at The Conversation, a specialty website for academics. Well, I can totally see why you would get a poor evaluation. You are supposed to be a science and technology professor, and yet you act like a whiny professional victim prick from the gender studies department. Surely the students don't pay for you to do that, and you voluntarily chose the science department. Just go to the bullcrap women's studies section if you want approval and appraisal, no matter how much nonsense you spout. There, problem solved. But wait, there's more. Each semester, all over the country, Pitchard explains, student feedback is pervasively slanted by gender bias. Female professors also tend to be criticized more often for their appearance and fashion choices, Pitchard charges. Now, stop right there. Two questions. One, who is the majority sex in any American campus? It's female, isn't it? And two, what sex is more likely to criticize women for their appearance and fashion choices? Oh wait, that's also female. So let me get this straight. This woman wants bonus points for being a woman because other women did what women are more likely to do. Am I the only one who thinks this is utter insane? But wait, it gets even better. Moreover, students have been known to call female professors bossy as well as approachable and helpful. Male professors are more likely to be called funny and brilliant. Well, this tells me that students see more female professors as bossy, while other female professors are perceived by the students as approachable and helpful. Okay, so what's wrong with that? I mean, in any collective, there are people one is going to like more and people one is going to like less. This has always been the case, and in any place, be it university, company, family, whatever. That's how things work in real life. Such adjectives not only reflect but also reinforce gender stereotypes for both men and women, and speak to the ways that female instructors are perceived differently in the classroom, Pitchard opines. Well, yes, because men and women are different, you pretentious control freak. Of course they're perceived differently, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not fair, she laments. Well, let me take a radical position here. Life's not fair. Deal with it. Paraphrasing Thomas Sowell, the students' evaluations are not inherently unfair, but life itself is unfair. And as an adult, and especially as an adult role model, which a professor should be, you learn to deal with it. But no, why deal with it in an adult manner when you can just, I don't know, demand more privileges? It seems to work. Female faculty should receive an automatic correction, that is to say, a bonus on their quantitative teaching evaluation scores, Pitchard explains. This bonus for being a woman should be determined by average gender bias in teaching evaluations at their institution or national averages. Wah! Smirk. Now, I know this is a pretty radical thing to say, but I'm going to say it anyway. Has the Right Honorable Professor Pitchard considered that maybe, just maybe, she sucks at doing her job? Because I, for one, tend to think that this is the case based on her writing. One student says she grades too hard for such a BS course, And it seems that she teaches environmental governance, which doesn't have that much to do with the science and technology department unless you are a green freak, which, thank goodness, the overwhelming majority of the planet is not. So let's recap. She teaches a largely useless, most likely bullshit course in the science and technology department. She acts and talks like a control freak, as we've seen, and then she whines and is totally surprised that she's graded badly by her students. Really? The saddest part is that this woman comes from a STEM department. One has come to expect such idiocy from the Women's Studies department, but the STEM portion would usually be more reasonable, or, at the very least, less unreasonable than the humanities. Sadly, this seems to be no longer the case, at least not at Cornell. Slowly but consistently, the academe is turning into a giant, sick joke. An expensive joke, admittedly, but a joke nonetheless. Anyway, with that being said, don't forget to click the subscribe button and consider supporting this channel. Thanks for watching.